Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. So, right off the bat, I just want to say, even though this will be going up technically tomorrow, that being December 26th, and by then Christmas will have come and gone, I don't care. I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Happy Holidays. I do hope you got to spend some quality time with your family, with your loved ones. If you didn't have anyone to spend Christmas with, I still hope you had a great time, even by yourself. I was looking back through my channel, looking to see how many SummerSlam reviews I was able to get done. Now, thing is, SummerSlam, that was back in August, right? And so I knew I didn't quite get to all of them because I had a very big list, and stuff happened, especially in August. So I was looking through to see how many I had done. I figured I'd got one or two, but as I looked through, I didn't get any done this year. So I figured, you know what? Why not warm up the cold winter season, especially if you live in an area that gets a lot of snow. I hope you enjoy some of these SummerSlam reviews to warm your guys' hearts, and even if it doesn't warm you physically, it give you that warm fuzzy feeling inside to combat the cold. I think it goes without saying that 2020 was weird. 2020 was a very, very weird year. Some stuff happened in life, society, the world kind of got turned upside down a little bit. It's because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and one of the things that was affected was pro wrestling, and we have looked at some matches in this pandemic thus far. We looked at one or two that took place like shortly before it, but we also looked at some that took place during the pandemic, and things get a little weird. Things get a little tricky. But nevertheless, as one of the things that kind of kept things afloat in terms of the creative that was entertaining for a lot of people to tune into was the Boss Husband Hug Connection, or as they were called, the role models at this time, that being Sasha Banks and Bayley, and the antics they would get up to pretty much weekly. Especially across both brands. At this point in time, Sasha Banks and Bayley, her holding two belts each. They were Sasha 2 belts and Bayley 2 belts. Because both were the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions. Bayley was Raw Women's Champion. Sasha Banks was the SmackDown Women's Champion, and they were also the Women's Tag Team Champions at this time. I believe this was their second reign with the championship. Or actually, no, I got it wrong. So it was Sasha who was Raw Women's Champion. It was Bayley who was SmackDown Women's Champion, and I accidentally got that wrong. My apologies. But so they were holding both belts. But what would happen when Sasha Banks had to put her Raw Women's Championship on the line against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka? Let's find out. I'm, of course, talking about Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam 2020. So, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time. And I must say, I definitely had a really good time with this match. This match was pretty fun, pretty enjoyable for the most part. So without further ado, I guess let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. Starting with what I liked. Asuka and Sasha Banks are two women, and slash now Mercedes Moné in AEW for Sasha Banks, that is, are two women who are definitely capable of putting on a great match, and I think these two definitely put on a good match here, especially when it's not bogged down by other circumstances. Bayley was at ringside, but she kind of held both the belts all. She at least held 3 of the belts. She held the tag titles and her SmackDown Women's Championship. I believe she held the Raw Women's Championship as well. Like held it physically, not like she took it from Sasha, but held the physical belt, if I'm not mistaken, at a ringside, and kind of cheered Sasha on, but otherwise didn't really get involved too much, except towards the end, which we will get to. But otherwise, just kind of letting Sasha and Asuka do their thing. And I think worked the best for this match. Couple scary moments, including Asuka kicking the crap out of the LED ring post. That wasn't really damaging her leg. Like the thud it made when and she kicked the post there. It definitely it definitely was like a hard shot. But otherwise still able to carry on with the match, and also the story being throughout was because Asuka did pull double duty on the show. She did lose the SmackDown Women's Championship match to Bayley, so Bayley retained her championship. So she's seeking to capture the Raw Women's Championship, which Asuka was Raw Women's Champion this year. She won it in the Money in the Bank, as Becky relinquished it because of her pregnancy and everything. So Asuka was Raw Women's Champion. I believe she did lose it to Sasha Banks. Asuka did spend a good portion of the year here feuding with the role models alongside Kairi Sane, but at this point Kairi Sane was retired, as they put it on commentary, which I guess is code for her heading back to Japan. This was that time when she left the WWE, at least in terms of being an on-screen character, and started doing ambassador work for Japan before she left that and left WWE altogether. Now, obviously, in present day 2024, she's back and everything, part of Damage Control and everything, but this was during that time while she was out. So them blaming that on Sasha Banks and Bayley to kind of continue that feud. That's one of these story threads. But another one is, will Bayley make the sacrifice similar to what Sasha did earlier? Because Sasha got involved and Asuka hit her with the hip attack during her match with Bayley, and Bayley use that to capitalize and get the win there. So will Bayley do the same thing? Well, as it turns out, no. Bayley didn't quite take the bullet. She did move out of the way and then got hit with the back fist from Asuka. But Sasha does end up losing the match, which, considering that this event was originally supposed to take place in the TD Garden in Boston, that would have been a little bit awkward. But nevertheless, Asuka ultimately does make Sasha tap out with the Asuka lock, which it's the closing sequence of like Sasha really struggling to fight out of the Asuka lock and trying to avoid it, and her actually succeeding a couple times, but then getting right back into it. That sequence was pretty fun, and they do try to explain more of that rift between Asuka and. Between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Ultimately, I believe later on this year, Bayley will fully turn on Sasha Banks, but we're not quite there yet. For now, just kind of teasing at it on commentary, and with Bayley not wanting to make the same sacrifice that Sasha did. But otherwise, for her 11-minute 25-second encounter that they had here, I think they did well in the time they were allotted. Not the shortest match on the night. That actually goes to the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. But I think, or at least on the main show, on the pre-show, we did have Apollo Crews versus MVP. That was only 6 minutes 40 seconds. But I think in their allotted time, these ladies did relatively well for the most part. In terms of what I didn't quite like, there was nothing that really blew me away with this match. I think the match was good, but it wasn't quite like into that next level upper gear that both these ladies are capable of, and I imagine that may be due to the time constraints, only having such a short amount of time to be able to do what they need to do. But I do wish we got a little bit more out of it. But I also can't. But I imagine also probably because Asuka is pulling double duty, so I can't fully hold that against her. This match only 10 seconds shorter than her match with Bayley. So about 20 minutes of wrestling for Asuka. So I can't fully hold that against her, but I do wish we'd gotten kind of a little bit more, or even if they had it kind of gauntlet style here, have her face Bayley, then have her face Sasha. But Asuka did become champion once again, and the divide is furthered between Sasha and Bayley. So there is that. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see it as soon as it drops. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this match, my review of the match. Do you like the match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.